Just when I thought my hairdryer and diffuser couldn't get any better, Curlsmith released a brand new hairdryer and diffuser along with their new Miracle Shield heat protectant. I'm gonna be showing you how to use these products, walk you through how to use this hairdryer using 3 different diffusing techniques, and we're gonna compare the results. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina, and here we make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love testing out new products, doing simplified step-by-step beginner tutorials, and talking about the science of hair. And I also wanted to thank Curlsmith for partnering with me for this video. They're a longtime partner of mine because I just love their products so much. I was so excited to find out that they were releasing a hairdryer and a heat protectant. So let's first get started with the styling routine so I can show you a quick overview of the products that I use in my hair today and how I use the new Miracle Shield heat protectant. First, starting off with the Curlsmith Miracle Shield heat protectant. This is a protein-rich mist that offers protection against multiple different types of damage, including heat tools, color fading, breakage, UV rays, seawater, and chlorine, making it the perfect product for the upcoming summer months. So you just spritz it all over your hair before your styling products. So today I went with one of my favorite combos, which is the Curlsmith Feather Light Protein Cream and the Styling Souffle. So I'm just running the protein cream all throughout my hair. Then I just combed it through to ensure everything was evenly distributed, and then I applied the Styling Souffle in sections. I only used a little bit of this because a little goes a long way, and I find that if I use too much, it just looks stringy. And then I just did a little bit of brush styling. I wanted to show you all the styling routine before the diffusing because a lot of the things that I do when I'm styling do make a difference in how fast my hair dries. So I like to take my hair repair towel and just scrunch each section as I go, or I just scrunch it all at the end. This is going to absorb any excess water, and I already just damp style anyways. I don't style soaking wet, and even then I still do this just to help encourage the curls and also absorb any of that excess water. This is going to significantly cut down on the amount of time that you're diffusing. Now for the best part, the hairdryer and the diffuser. I wanted to give you all a good look at this. This is the largest diffuser head I've ever seen. This is 8 inches wide, so it's gonna cover all of your hair when you are diffusing. The prongs are also a pretty good length, and they help to dry your scalp even faster because they do have little holes at the end of the prongs. It's also a super wide bowl, so it's gonna fit all of your hair in there. And I like the positioning of the prongs because your hair is not going to fall off from this, and it's also not going to tangle up your curls. One of my favorite parts about the dryer is it does have a low, medium, and high heat setting, and also a low and high airflow setting. Love that because you don't want anything that's going to be too hot. It also has your usual cold shot button that you don't have to hold down, which is awesome. It also has these little prongs on the back which allow it to stand without holding it. If you're not able to hold the dryer, I can show you how you can still diffuse. So let's get started with diffusing. Of course, I'm going to time this because I love a good dry time test, and I'm going to set my dryer to the highest heat setting and the lowest airflow setting. So the first diffusing technique that I'm going to share with you is the hover diffusing technique. This is a very simple diffusing method, just where you hover the dryer at a distance from your hair without touching the diffuser to your curls. This is ideal if you really struggle with frizz and you also don't want to disturb your curl pattern. So if you want your curls to dry in the exact curl pattern that they are naturally, this even can cause them to elongate just a little bit just from gravity. This is the diffusing technique that you would want to use. And typically hovering is just done at a distance, but if you do want to get your roots dry, you are going to have to kind of stick those prongs down onto your scalp, but you're still not really disturbing the curls this way. You're just getting the air down onto the scalp. So the hover method is not going to cause any frizz because you're not really disturbing the curls. You can use your hand to kind of cup the curls if you do want a little bit more shrinkage, but I'm going to show you a better way to do it. So my modification to the hover diffusing technique is the Plop diffusing method that I love using at the start of my diffusing routine. So this basically solves for the problem of my curls becoming too elongated for my liking. I like them to shrink up a little bit more. So by plopping my hair over my hair towel and then hovering, I'm able to set the gel cast at first without causing frizz, but then also get that shrinkage that I want. Here I'm just showing you how the nice kickstand works. If you didn't want to hold the dryer at all, you could totally just prop the diffuser up and then set your curls in it. Here's also how I like to diffuse the sides and the back of my hair when I'm doing this method. Sometimes I just set the dryer down completely and then I don't have to touch it to my head at all. The hover diffusing technique is also the least damaging to the hair because you're not applying that direct heat right on the hair's cuticle. You're just hovering the heat at the distance, so it's not going to cause damage this way. The next diffusing technique is the stretch diffusing method, and this is just where you gently tug on the roots. You can also kind of gently tug on the ends or use your fingers to kind of grip the roots and gently stretch them. So this is going to cause more elongation. So if you want to prevent shrinkage, this is what you could do to get more elongation if you wanted your curl pattern to dry a little bit looser. This is most commonly used in more coily hair types when they want to prevent shrinkage. Now, if you want the opposite effect like me and you want more shrinkage and more curl definition, you would want to try out the pixie diffusing technique, or the scrunch diffusing technique is what I like to call it. Pixie diffusing is just where you turn off your dryer as you move in between each section, and you are using the dryer to actually scrunch the curls. So you'll see I turn it off before I move on to the next section, and the idea here really is just to prevent your curls from blowing all over the place from the airflow, because when you do remove the diffuser, you'll see that the air can kind of blow the curls, and some people get wonky curls from that happening, or they get more frizz just from the air blowing their curls. I usually don't feel like turning my dryer on and off, so I typically just leave it on the entire time. It doesn't really bother me, but if you do really struggle with wonky, misshaped curls, then you could try out the pixie diffusing technique. But I like to just do a scrunch method where I just use the diffuser to scrunch my curls. So I typically do a combination of multiple different techniques. I usually start with the plop and hover method just to kind of set the gel cast a little bit, and then I continue with the scrunch diffusing technique or the pixie diffusing technique just to finish off my curls. I really like to finish them off with more of this scrunching motion because that really helps to define them and helps to shrink them up, which is the goal that I'm going for with my curls. So just checking in on time, I'm almost at 7 minutes and my curls are already getting pretty dry. I would say my hair is probably about 80% dry at this point. So I also like to do some scrunch diffusing in the upright position. That really just helps my curls dry evenly and to make sure that I'm getting that underside layer, because if you're just upside down, sometimes you can't get this underside layer very good and it will still be a little bit wet. And this also helps me get more shrinkage on the bottom section too, that hangs a lot looser sometimes. And here you will also see me use the prongs to really create that root lift. This is my favorite trick in the book. I'm always doing this with whichever diffuser that I'm using. I always use those prongs to help lift the roots. That's game changing for me, especially if you have low density hair or you don't have a lot of volume in your hair. This helps really create that root lift. So you'll notice that I hold the dryer all different kind of ways, and because this hair dryer is so lightweight, I can really do that and just hold it any which way that feels comfortable. This dryer weighs 760 grams or 1 pound and 10 ounces. So that's super light, only about 1 pound for both the dryer and the diffuser combined. I also just wanted to share a little bit more about the technology within the hairdryer. It does have that ion technology that's supposed to help smooth the cuticle and boost shine and help eliminate frizz. It has a fair infrared heat technology that penetrates the hair to reduce dry time and damage. And it also has porcelain ceramic within the inside, which ensures even heat distribution. So no hot spots. It's not going to cause the curls to get too hot or get random really hot bursts of air. It's that even, nice heat flow. After about 10 or 13 minutes, I usually switch it over to the medium heat setting. Typically, I don't ever dry my hair on the highest heat setting, but with this dryer, the highest heat to me, it feels like a good amount of heat. Like it's not too much heat, so I usually use that for the majority of my diffusing. So the total dry time was just under about 14 minutes, which is typical for me with my other hair dryers. Normally it takes me anywhere from 11 to 15 to maximum about 20 minutes if my hair was really wet. So I think that that's a really good dry time, definitely for my hair type, which is low density, which tends to dry a lot faster. I'm definitely happy with that dry time. Even though this uses a lower heat compared to other dryers that I've tried, I think this still dried my hair as fast as it did because of the large diffuser covering more surface area at one time. Then I wanted to test out the pick attachment. I had never tried one of these before, but it's supposed to be really great for creating root volume, which I love. So I just turned the dryer off first and then placed it underneath my curls and then turned it on. I noticed that it was hard to get it within my hair if I left the dryer on, so you would definitely want to turn this off in between you moving it around to different sections, but it really did give me some nice root volume. I noticed that it kind of blew the hair straight upwards. It was definitely a lot of airflow, so you would definitely want to use this on a low airflow setting. Don't put it on high, but it gave me a really nice root lift. I had great volume after this wash day. I also wanted to note that it does come with a concentrator nozzle, which is used for blowouts as well. So here's how my hair looked after it was completely dry. I usually wait a bit before I scrunch out the crunch. I usually just let everything set and cool off and
and make sure that everything is completely dry. And then I will go in and fluff out my roots and scrunch out the gel cast so that way I get a softer look. So here are my finished results after everything is dried and scrunched out. I have such good volume and no frizz at all. Like even looking closely, I don't see any frizz, maybe just a tiny bit of root frizz from using that pick, but overall, really great results and I'm definitely impressed.
So overall, I'm really impressed with this hair dryer and diffuser. I thought that my previous dryer couldn't get any better. So the main difference for me with this hair dryer compared to my other ones is this one does not get as hot. So I feel like it's going to cause less damage over time. It's not as much heat on the hair, but I'm still getting the same dry time. And I think that's because of the awesome design of this diffuser. Because I've used smaller diffusers in the past on a warm heat setting and it takes a little bit longer for my hair to dry. So I think the combination of the long prongs and the super large design of this is why I'm still getting a really good dry time even with a lower heat setting. So I don't have to switch to cold with this. I don't have to rotate between cold and hot. I can just leave this on the hot setting or the warm setting towards the end of my diffusing routine and I don't feel like my hair is getting too hot or getting damaged. So for those of you that do have trouble with your hair dryers getting too hot or you've tried other hair dryers in the past that you think are just way too hot for your hair, definitely give this one a try because I love that medium heat setting. It's like the perfect heat setting for curls. It's like just right to where it's hot enough to get your curls dry, but it's not too hot. I don't feel like my scalp was burning. So final thoughts on the heat protectant spray. I've really been enjoying this. I'm finally getting in the habit of using a heat protectant each time that I style because I was never consistent with heat protectants before. So I definitely think it's been working and I love the ingredients in this with being just an all natural product. And I like that it doesn't change the feeling of my hair. It's just a great addition to my routine that I'm definitely going to be incorporating each wash day. So I'll put my 10% off discount code down below. Unfortunately, you can't use it for the hair dryer, but you can use it for the heat protectant spray if it's your first Curlsmith order. So let me know if you plan to try out this hair dryer in the comments down below, or if you're going to add it to your wish list, or if you plan to get the heat protectant. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So as I mentioned before, I'm trying to review lots of different hair dryers. That way I can just have more of a variety of price points and features and diffuser designs to be able to recommend to you. So that way you can decide which one is right for your hair type. So if you enjoyed this video, then I think you might also really like the one that I did all about how to diffuse curly hair for beginners without frizz. So if you're really struggling with frizz, definitely check out that video. And if you want a step-by-step beginner style tutorial for diffusing, then click the video here on the screen and I will talk to you over there.